Okay, let's move on to our next thing. We've got some news from Trading 212. Steve, you've been looking at this as well.
Yeah, just two really quick, short pieces of news. The first one that came out was that they've added a brand new exchange. So joining the Austrian exchange that was added about 3 months ago, I think it was 4 months ago, we now have access to the Portugal exchange. Steve, do you know any good Portuguese companies?
No, I had a look through a thing called the whatever it was, Portugal 20, or their kind of version of the FTSE 100, which is only 20 things on it, and they nearly all look like utilities or energy companies, or basically boring things from what I could see. I didn't find anything interesting listed in the Portuguese exchange. Not sure what I thought I was going to find, to be honest. Possibly Nando's, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's what I found, the same as you. It was like a hotel chain, a few utilities, a renewable utility which didn't seem to make very much money, and a few restaurant chains, I think, was pretty much the list. And I thought it was quite an uninspiring list. And so far, we will admit, Steve and I was going to do a Portuguese stock of the week to try and celebrate this, but we actually couldn't find one, so we scrapped that idea. But let us know if you know any hot Portuguese companies. I'd be interested to see what you've found. The second bit of news is that Trading 212 is changing the way it shows prices. So it used to show you the bid price at the top, and then in instrument details at the bottom, if you hadn't bought the stock, it used to show you the sell price, so you could work out the spread between the two. If you bought the stock, it obviously used to show you about halfway down in your investment details, or whatever it was called. But they're getting rid of all of that, Steve, from what I understand. At the top, you're going to get the LTP price, which is the last traded price. So this is a fairly industry standard metric. It just shows you the price, the last price that the stock or ETF or whatever instrument you own was traded for. So it should show you a slightly more accurate price of your stocks. I mean, one of the issues Trading 212 has, just quickly, is that they get their price feed from Bloomberg. Bloomberg isn't an exchange, so that's getting the data from somewhere else. If there's any blips in the feed that Bloomberg gets, Trading 212 will also get a blip. But because they were feeding the data in two parts, sometimes you could get a blip on the sell price and not on the buy price, so you'd end up with these huge spreads that look like 30, 40, 50p, and it would just be because it's indicative, and that used to get a lot of people's backs up, and I assume got a lot of angry people talking to Trading 212 in the comments. So this is probably a positive change for their help staff's mental state. But other than that, Steve, I don't think it's too exciting. How about you?
Will it make my investment returns go up, Steve?
Nothing can make that happen.
Then I'm not interested. But is this a CFD thing or something then? I mean, I feel like this is for people who are watching quite closely what's going on with their investments and being alarmed at seeing the wrong spread or something like that. I feel like this has never really bothered. I haven't noticed it, to be honest, so it definitely never bothered me. But if I had noticed it, I'm not sure I'd be that worried about it.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Because up until this point, there's been a lot of things added for people who are long-term ISA invest, holding for the long period pies and auto invest and all that. They were all
Portuguese exchanges,
Portuguese exchanges, all brought in for long-term investors. These last few changes have actually been refocusing on what Trading 212 originally did, which was for the shorter-term people. So we had the trading view charts that you can draw your fancy lines on. We had the and last traded price, obviously, is a more accurate way of pricing your stocks. So they're all positive changes for the other side of the investing trading game, I guess is what we would call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing for us if there's, more people on Trading 212, right? We both like using that platform. We both want that platform to do well for a number of reasons. So good to see new features. Good to see, I guess, bugs getting fixed is kind of what that comes under, I suppose.
Yeah, I think they're just quality of life improvements. That's what I would call them. Apparently, there's a few more little bits and pieces to come as well. So we shall see.
That is exciting stuff. We'll look forward to reporting it when it comes around.